Hi everybody and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host Nancy Byrne and we are inside the downtown healing garden where recently a ceremony was held remembering those people killed at the Harvest Festival now just over 3 years ago. We're going to take you to that ceremony a little bit later on, but first we're going to change gears and tell you about a new city program. You know, telling students that they have to learn from home, telling parents that they have to teach from home, maybe while they're trying to work from home or even trying to find a new job, electronic devices, or web connectivity. It's been a challenging year, to say the least. Well, now there's a new program in the city called Community Navigators, and this team does exactly what that name insinuates. They navigate people through the system to get them the help they need. At this Communities in Schools outreach event at Leeburn Senior Center, families from Red Rock Elementary School can find all types of assistance with education, nutrition, housing, and so much more. And now, thanks to a new City of Las Vegas program, Community Navigators, there's another resource available to families in need. Melissa Fredrickson is one of the leaders in this team, which is part of the AmeriCorps program. She and her team work face-to-face with the community. It may be a new program, but it is already making a big difference to many of the families in our community.
We have 6 navigators. They are actually AmeriCorps members that are out. This is our first year doing this program, and it is amazing. They're out there. They are hitting the ground running, getting the resources. We've already had so many resources that we've been able to connect with. Like people are calling, and we're able to send them emails. We are setting up appointments for people to be able to come to our hubs and get the services they need right on spot.
School supplies such as backpacks and books are always a big hit at events like this, but just about everything is available from meals to medical treatment. So this is a perfect event for our navigators to have a presence. One of the reasons this program is seeing success is because the team comes out to the people instead of the people having to seek out their help. Navigator Daisy Villanueva says fairs like Communities in Schools are just one way they reach out to families.
We do canvas around the city where is most needed, like supermarkets. We try to hit a lot of the Hispanic supermarkets to assist families that need it the most. We do also go to different schools. So a lot of the families that are mostly impacted come from lower income schools, so we try to help them there as well.
Another thing that makes this program a success is the team offers immediate help right on the spot instead of handing out a brochure and hoping the families will follow up.
Like technology can be a barrier, language can be a barrier. So if we get someone here that needs the help right here on the spot, we are here to get them going with any resources that they need.
Youth Development and Social Innovation Department leaders say the pandemic put a spotlight on the need for a program like this to provide one-on-one assistance.
I think it also brings a sense of community because we're not getting that a lot right now, right? So instead of just getting a phone call or a flyer, call this 800 number and see if you can get in a line to get this. It's more of one-on-one. So you need help with finding an employment. Okay, let's look at what's available and let's fill out this job application right here and now. So you have something to walk away with.
Vegas, we just started a new program called Community Navigators. It's to help families right now get connected to resources.
Daisy says her work with the Navigators is so gratifying. In its short time of existence, she already has stories of success that warm her heart, like the single mother of 4 who was trying to escape a domestic violence situation.
Her partner wasn't in the picture anymore. She couldn't afford, living where she was right now. So I helped her get in contact with a lot of different housing authorities. She was able to find an apartment where her and her 4 kids live right now, and also immigration services because she was a refugee from Honduras. So she was able to receive that type of help, also health care for her kids because she did have an infant at home.
Daisy was able to tap into several available resources to help this mother get back on her feet. We spoke with 2 other members of the team who feel the same gratification.
We have people that we keep in touch with. It's not like we just help people and then we're like, bye, we keep in touch with them. We check up on them every week. We hear from the schools and the schools, communicate back with us. And it's just really great to really be building a sense of community at a time when it's kind of difficult to build a sense of community when we're all so separated.
A lot of people really need help out there and they're struggling. and it feels good to be able to point them to the right direction. And it also feels really good just to step out of my comfort zone. Like, I've generally been located in one area of Las Vegas most of my life, and it feels good to, familiarize myself with other areas and other people.
The idea behind the program is indeed in the name, navigating people to the resources that are already available, being that bridge, getting them on the road to a better life. Community Navigators is part of the AmeriCorps program that the City of Las Vegas embraces. It's a group of young men and women who are hired and then sent out to help the community. If you're interested in AmeriCorps or the Navigators, you can call 229-2609, or you can go to lasvegas.gov/government/department/YDSI. Well, let's stay on this education theme a little bit longer. Preschool education is so important, and the city offers many programs to help in that arena. In fact, not too long ago, we launched our Strong Start Go mobile classroom. It's been so successful, we are now expanding it. Sue Levitt has the story.
Oh, with our hands? Okay. So I'll use my hands.
Eric Reynolds is one of the preschool teachers that works with children here on the Strong Start Go Classroom on Wheels.
I remember my preschool childhood experience, and it was very, very positive. Why isn't the rice going? Being in preschool, it was amazing. And for most kids, this is their first introduction to learning in a traditional sense in terms of a classroom, and just to make sure that they have a positive experience coming into school will definitely help their trajectory as they grow older and progress through education.
This mobile classroom created by the city is designed to travel directly to the children to provide little ones with a positive learning experience. The program is free, and all state guidelines on COVID-19 are followed.
Obviously, the biggest benefit is it's mobile. Now, having said that, we keep it pretty static, so we don't move it from location to location, but it affords us the opportunity to put a preschool where there's a great need, and if that changes, unlike a brick and mortar, we can shift as well.
The bus starts the day on the west side of town near Doolittle Community Center. Then in the afternoon, travels here to the east side, just across from the lead animal shelter. In one day, the bus is able to serve children in 2 different communities.
We feel like it's really important for us to help, especially kids in communities where we have high poverty, where we have a high number of second language students, to make sure that they have those foundational skills so that they can start kindergarten on level footing with the other children.
That's enough, right? We can stop. No?
Eric says he thinks what the kids like most about the city's mobile preschool program is that creativity is encouraged and the children have a say in how they learn.
We're using Teaching Strategies Gold, which is a very creative curriculum, so they're able to utilize all the different lesson plans in there, and we can kind of adjust the lesson plan depending on what it is we see our kids may need to learn or areas that they may be struggling with. We can kind of adjust it that way, and that really helps in terms of the kids that we see going off to kindergarten and how they're able to adapt more quickly to the classroom setting traditionally.
The Strong Start Go mobile classroom has been such a huge success that another bus will be unveiled this month and ready to help serve more children in our community. For City Beat, I'm Sue Levitt.
The city's first group of preschoolers just entered kindergarten, and we're going to be keeping a close eye on them and watching their success. If you'd like more information on the city's preschool programs, go to 229-KIDS. Thank you, Sue Levitt, for that story. Well, you may have heard there's an election going on, and there's an awful lot of talk about mail-in ballots and where to take them. Well, where you take them is an official, safe place. City Hall is one of those drop-off points. In the past, you could arrive at your designated polling place on Election Day and wait elbow to elbow with your fellow civically minded neighbors. Well, long lines and little elbow room goes against everything we've been hearing about being safe thanks to the coronavirus. So this year, at least for the primaries, it is your isolated mailbox where you will cast your votes. And if you're out and about in downtown Las Vegas, you now have another option. Drop off your mail-in ballot at City Hall.
Let me take this off so I'm a little clearer. We have the 2020 elections going on. So we're offering anybody, if you don't want to put your ballot in the mailbox, you're welcome to come down here and drop it off here. So we are offering mail ballot drop-offs. If you want to bring a family members down, that's wonderful. You're going to bring it down, and we're going to stamp the back of the ballot, and all you need to do is sign saying that as a family member you're dropping that ballot off for somebody else.
This gentleman, who didn't want to give us his name, did freely tell us he appreciates the convenience of being able to drop off his ballot here in the lobby while he's out doing other errands.
I think that it's a very beneficial service to help out the people in town here at Las Vegas. As you said yourself, it's convenient. It makes it easier to vote. Although I do prefer to do it in person myself. This is what we have to do because of the coronavirus.
We're offering the drop-off service Monday through Thursday from 7 to 5:30.
Whenever a ballot is deposited into the secure box, the area is disinfected. You don't have to have your temperature taken to drop off your ballot because there's rarely a crowd around the table, but there are still social distancing rules in place around the ballot box. Our city clerk says as Nevada slowly moves toward reopening, more traffic will begin making its way into City Hall. This is just one way to lend a helping hand to those who come here and also wish to cast their vote.
Well, we always like to support the elections. We're big proponents of your voice is your vote. So we work in great partnership with the Clark County Election Department, and when they asked us to be a position where people can come and drop off a location for their ballots, we were excited to offer that up, and we just had to figure out how to make that work with the new social distancing requirements.
Las Vegas City Hall is located at 495 South Main Street. So we're learning how to navigate an election during a pandemic. When we come back, we're going to tell you how to navigate Halloween. Have fun and stay safe.
Our family is no less than any other family.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it here. So what are you waiting for? Just go to the site.
Welcome back to City Beat from the downtown healing garden, where the victims of the October 1st shooting are remembered every day. Well, you know, this year has been very unusual, and Halloween is going to be no different. This year, you're going to need to be creative on more than just your costume. But we're told that you can mix things up, throw out some old traditions, maybe start some new ones, be safe, and still have fun. Let's face it, this year was scary before skeletons and ghosts came out of hiding. The COVID-19 pandemic has made us rethink how we do everything, including now how to get a little tricky in how we approach getting our treats.
The hardest thing is going to be maintaining that social distancing that we all need to do.
Carla Shoup is with the Southern Nevada Health District and says if you and your kids are doing any form of trick-or-treating, keep your group confined to your family and keep cleanliness a top priority, whether you travel door to door or house to house.
They may have like a bowl of candy out front, so it's self-service. You want to make sure that your group of kids is maintaining that social distancing from the group of kids that's already at the candy bowl. And then another thing you just want to keep in mind is make sure your kids are either using hand sanitizer frequently throughout the night. Certainly when they get home, before they dive into the bowl of chocolate, make sure everybody washes their hands before they do that.
And while masks have always been part of Halloween, this is not the time to replace a responsible mask for a monster mask.
If you're going to be wearing one of those spooky latex masks you get at the spirit store or whatever, you want to make sure you're still wearing your disposable or reusable mask underneath it. Because a lot of those masks have those large ventilation holes, so we're still going to be able to expel large respiratory droplets through them, and the face mask will help.
Here are some suggestions the Health District offers to traditional trick-or-treating. Organize drive-up trick-or-treating where neighbors set up candy at the curb. Plan a neighborhood costume parade with safe distances between participants. Have a scary movie party with just family or a few friends and keep your social distancing intact. Or watch a movie together with a larger group while on a group phone call or something like Zoom. Create a Halloween piñata with just your family in the backyard, or have a costume dinner with your family. Lastly, Shoup reminds us if you are feeling sick, may have been exposed to someone with COVID-19, or are in quarantine, for this year, stay home.
And that also goes for homeowners. I know we love opening the door and letting our dogs bark and having the kids come up and get the candy and everything, but again, if you're a homeowner and same conditions, not feeling well, think you've been exposed, you want to make sure you're not participating this year.
Medical experts don't want to take the fun out of Halloween, but say it's not worth setting the guidelines aside, even for one night, if the trick ends up being on your health. For more information on fun and safe ideas for the holidays, go to cdc.gov or snhd.info. Speaking of Halloween, here are just a few events planned by the City of Las Vegas that are safe and fun. We're going to stick with the safety theme a little bit longer. The second week of October is National Fire Prevention Month. Now, we here at the City of Las Vegas, along with Las Vegas Fire and Rescue, work very hard to get the word out on safety tips and safety practices. I recently had a chance to sit down with Melanie Denon from Las Vegas Fire and Rescue to talk about the #1 cause of fires. They start in the kitchen, and surprisingly, more than half of the injuries are suffered by children 12 years or younger. Here's what she had to say about kitchen fires, kids, and much more.
The safest thing to do is to have a 3-foot safety zone in front of your stove and your oven when you're cooking or baking. Children, they're curious, they want to help, especially if they're too short to see what's going on. They'll reach up, grab a pot or pan, and try and pull the handle so they can either help or they can see what you're doing to try and from it. They can open the oven and lean on the door, not realizing how hot it is. Or when, they want to help you get something out, they'll reach into the oven, not realizing they need like hot pad holders and protect against heat.
Right. So they're just trying to help, but it can actually end up hurting them badly.
Yes.
Well, the weather's getting a little nicer, at least theoretically. We're entering fall. Actually, it is supposed to be getting cooler sooner. And that does mean that a lot of people will be spending more patio time, cookout time. Do you have any tips on that?
Definitely. When you're going to be cooking outside or barbecuing, you want to make sure that your grill is a minimum of 10 feet away from the building, any balconies or overhangs or any railings, especially if it's wood. You definitely want to make sure that you before you turn on the gas, you want to make sure that you open the lid of your grill so that way propane doesn't collect in there. And you open it and try and light it, it kind of explodes in your face.
Right.
So you also want to check that. Always have a hose nearby in case you have a flare up and you need to use it. And if you happen to have coals, like a charcoal grill, make sure that your coals are completely cool before you put them into a trash can. A lot of people don't realize that they're still smoldering underneath, and they'll put them in a trash can, which will cause a fire, especially if they put it next to their home or inside their garage.
Right. We hear a lot about garage fires for that very reason. That and fireworks, right, Melanie?
Fireworks and hot coals.
Yes, exactly. Many older homes in Las Vegas, and some people might find this surprising, don't even have smoke alarms. Can we talk about that and a program that the city is involved in to change that?
Yes, a lot of homes that are over 30 years old do not have any smoke alarms in them. They were not required at the time. And some of the older homes that do have them only have 1 or 2 smoke alarms. So smoke alarms are your first offense of getting out of a house fire. It alerts you sooner. And the majority of fire deaths in the home are caused by non-working smoke alarms. So you want to have a sleeping area, each bedroom and in the area right outside that and on each level of your home. So if you have a 2 or 3 story house or even a basement, you want one there also.
Exactly. Something like 35,000 homes do not have smoke alarms.
Yes.
Tell us about the program that's changing that and how many alarms have been installed in some of those older homes.
We have a program. If you do not have working smoke alarms and you cannot afford to put them in your home, we will come install them for you. We've actually installed almost 4,000 smoke alarms in the last couple of years in the Las Vegas Valley.
We followed some of them around last year, and it's amazing the people that are missing these alarms. Sometimes they don't even realize how many they need or that they aren't even working. So it's really a great program. And there's that website for you right there on your screen. We talk a lot about alarms and cooking, that kind of thing, but also especially if you have a family or even if it's just you and your dogs, whomever, there needs to be a plan of escape from your house if in the event of a fire. Can you tell us how to do that?
Absolutely. So, kids practice fire drills in schools all the time. We have very few fires there. Nobody ever practices fire drills at home. You need to practice exit drills in the home. You need to, especially if you have young children or even you're taking care of elderly parents, everybody needs to know 2 ways out of every room in the house. So you want to draw like a basic floor plan of your home with windows and doors and any way you can get out, and then make sure everybody in the home knows 2 ways out of every room in that home. Once you're out, you want to have a safe meeting place away from the home, across the street, at a neighbor's house, the mailbox. That way, if you go out the front and a family member goes out the back door, you can meet together. That way, when fire crews arrive, they know is there somebody still in the house that's unaccounted for, or pets, anything like that. One thing to remember, never go back into a building that is on fire ever. Once you're out, stay out. The fire crews have special equipment used for finding people and animals, and they have special equipment to rescue animals with oxygen and everything like that. So make sure you practice your exit drills because in an emergency, you never act the way you think you will.
If you'd like more information on free smoke detectors, go to lasvegasfire.org. And as Melanie says, it's important to talk with children about fire safety, and it doesn't have to be scary. She recommends going to nfpa.org and sparky.org. It's almost a worn out phrase, yet we are still in the middle of it. The coronavirus has made 2020 a challenging year. Students learning from home, parents teaching from home while they're trying to work from home, other people looking for jobs. All the while, employers and business owners are doing everything they can to stay afloat and keep their workers working. Well, the city of Las Vegas never shut down. Producer Sue Levitt and editor Jesse Harville were asked to put together just a snapshot of some of the ways the city stepped up, thought outside the box, and did everything in their power to keep our city running.
The coronavirus pandemic has disrupted cities and communities worldwide, putting a strain on city resources and capabilities. The city of Las Vegas has responded to the global outbreak of COVID-19 with smart, innovative, and creative ideas, and there's certainly been no shortage of clever examples of human ingenuity in fighting the pandemic in our city. The first of its kind in the country, the isolation quarantine complex at CASHMAN Center served a vital purpose in giving our homeless population a place to isolate and quarantine safely to ensure others were not infected with the virus. The complex was equipped with separate areas for homeless people who were quarantined because they were exposed to the coronavirus but had no symptoms, an isolation area for those who had symptoms and were waiting on test results, and a third section for those with confirmed coronavirus test results needing to isolate. The ISO-Q Center went up quickly within 3 weeks, and thanks to the Mayor's Fund for Las Vegas Life, many sizable and impactful donations of essential and critical items from numerous corporate and individual donors were secured for use at the ISO-Q complex. The Mayor's Fund for Las Vegas Life utilizes a public-private funding model to launch key community initiatives to improve the lives of Las Vegas residents. The city's Customer Care Center continues to provide a one-stop shop for city questions and payments. Set up to meet social distancing requirements during the pandemic, the call center has handled almost 40,000 calls since it was created in March of 2020. The call center makes it easy for those wanting to make payments over the phone or in person for city services. A web page was also quickly created, lasvegasnevada.gov/coronavirus. News to direct residents to the city's response to the coronavirus. That webpage has received almost 760,000 views since the pandemic began, and timely coronavirus news updates are produced and aired daily on KCLV and various city platforms. The COVID-19 crisis has and will continue to force builders and contractors to adjust routine tasks, including inspections. And with the pandemic accelerating the need for remote inspections, the city launched its first ever video inspection program. Those with eligible permit types can have an inspection done virtually, allowing residents to continue obtaining important permits during the pandemic. Dine Out Downtown has been a big success, allowing people to enjoy our beautiful downtown area while still practicing social distancing. Businesses are using sidewalks and parking lots to provide outdoor dining and outdoor sales without the need of a permit. Some city streets have been closed to allow for the placing and managing of city-installed dining accommodations. Tables, chairs, and pop-up covers are all available for the public to use, and city staff are even on hand to clean and disinfect the tables and chairs between uses. To further assist businesses so badly impacted by COVID-19, the city launched a plan to allow restaurants providing curbside meals to also sell alcohol with its meals. The city heard from many business owners that this plan would be especially helpful as their operations are being impacted due to closures related to the coronavirus. As part of the plan, the city is issuing alcohol time-limited permits, which are renewable based on the duration of the coronavirus situation. And these are just a few of the many programs and solutions the city has created to navigate through the current outbreak of coronavirus disease in our community. COVID-19 has shocked the world and forced cities to improvise how best to protect the health of individuals. But through all of the confusion and fear, the power of quick thinking, creativity, and determination show what can be achieved when we are all united by common, clear priorities. The City of Las Vegas remains committed through the global challenge we are currently facing to ensure that all stay safe and healthy.
A big thank you to everyone who kept working, trying to keep our city and our community working. And again, thank you, Sue Levitt and Jesse Harville, for that video. Well, it was 3 years ago, October 1st, when we all watched in horror at a mass shooting at the Harvest Festival outside Mandalay Bay. 58 people were killed, hundreds of others were injured emotionally or physically, and since then 2 other people have died due to injuries sustained at that shooting. Well, the city vowed to never forget. In fact, this garden went up almost overnight. And even with the limitations put on us during this pandemic, we vowed to carry on with our ceremony. We take you now as we say farewell to the ceremony held right here, October 1st at 10:05 p.m.
Angela Gomez, 20, from Riverside, California.
Austin Davis, 29, from Riverside, California.
Carly Creebom,